Days are getting shorter and people are starting to feel a little down, wondering how you stay happy.
Oh, I exercise.
It's been so nice lately that it's really not bothering me too much.
It's a good time of the year for people to reach out to people around them. There's always people who are lonely, people who need some support of some kind.
Hey everybody, Shaw TV's Kim Kasher here, talking today about something a little bit more serious. Coming out of the holidays, some of us feeling a bit of the blues, and here to talk about them is Carolyn Bergen. She's a marriage and family therapist, and one of the reasons that people feel a little stressed out is maybe due to money. So how far does that go? How many people are coming to you?
Well, finances can be an issue, especially around Christmas. I think one of the challenges in our culture is we're bombarded with advertisements and commercials every day, thousands and thousands of images that say buy, and buy is a way to show your love and to show ways of connection. And so people kind of get sucked in, and before you know it, you've spent maybe too much money, and come early January, the credit card bills come in, and people kind of feel a little bit panicky and overwhelmed because now they have to pay these off. And that can be difficult, and that makes a tough time. Winter is difficult in general, and it can make winter sort of extra heavy as now there's less discretionary spending and you can't go out for dinner or go out for a movie in January like you'd like to because you have to figure out how to pay off these bills and the interest is piling up and the whole thing sort of snowballs.
Is there how do you get out of that? Obviously there's no way to kind of make up that money that you spent, but certainly letting it get you completely down. As you mentioned, it's already a hard enough time of year.
Right.
What are some of the things that people can do to keep themselves a little more elevated?
Well, I think part of the plan is to figure out, okay, so we made the mistake, how are we going to dig out of it, and to sit down with the people that are responsible for the income in the family and to develop a plan and a budget and figure out how you're going to make it through and make some good choices about getting rid of that money, that debt, and then looking at how can we make sure that that doesn't happen again. So I was actually talking with a friend who spent did a lot of their shopping in November, and then the Christmas card crunch came in December, and so she was telling me that they've already decided to have a Christmas shopping account that they're going to put money aside every month, and so next year they're not going to get hit with that. I think the other thing is to remember that Christmas is about connection with people, and it's way more about being together and looking meaningfully into each other's lives and to spend time together and to not get caught up into some of that commercialism and say we don't have to overspend, we just want to be with each other and we want to be able to be good with each other, and part of that is not being under extra stress like that financial stress.
Well, I'm glad that you mentioned that socialization, because earlier you were telling me about the 3 really important things to think about over the holidays. So you're already feeling stressed about money, but there are other things that are kind of bombarding and people are feeling perhaps symptoms of depression, that kind of thing. Maybe can you tell us a little bit about why finances are only a part of that and what people can do to combat any of that sort of winter blues?
Right. Yes, most of us feel, probably more of us than not, will feel some heaviness and some difficulty during winter. And so those of us who are just sort of feeling some of that heaviness, sort of some of those natural antidepressant kinds of activities are the way to go. And so that would be looking at exercising regularly, being smart about getting moving. That's really good for your health. Making good food choices, carbohydrates, which we tend to crave, give us a bit of a crash, and so looking at things with lots of fiber and protein can make us feel better. And then socialization, just connecting with friends and having those meaningful times that you have with people, sort of pushing yourself to make that date with a friend and going for coffee or going for a movie, hanging out with friends, going out for dinner, having people over for dinner, just even maybe popcorn if that's all you can afford.
Yes.
But getting together with people is a huge way to feel better.
All right, perfect. Some great tips. Thank you so much, Carolyn. And there will be more tips for dealing with those winter blues as we go up to the saddest day of the year that many people will call that second Monday of January. And stay tuned with Shaw TV. More of those tips are to come.